Good morning and welcome to Flannel Hill Farm. We got lots more. I don't know if you can see the trees out the top of the truck, but we got more trees, more bushes. We got bare root ones. We got a couple of them in pots that look really, really nice. And I started planting more yesterday. We're gonna get at least, my goal is to get at least the bare root in the ground. The ones in the pot can survive a little while still, but the ones in the pot, or the bare root ones, are the ones I'm really kind of worried about. So we are going to get in here and we are going to start looking at what we did, see how they look so far, make sure that we're still working, operating well here. I did put an order in from Stark Brothers. So all of this that we've gotten is either from Tractor Supply. Hey! Get out of there! It's either from Tractor Supply or Lowe's. We got a couple from Lowe's. They had some actual like potted stuff. So, but these are from Tractor Supply, and these are just bare root, and they are looking pretty good. All of these actually are. These are all blackberries. And the cool thing about the ones that are at Tractor Supply is they are from a place called DeGroot. And DeGroot is a place that is American owned, it is veteran owned, and they guarantee their plant survival. So you can go into this knowing that your stuff will either grow or you'll get new stuff, or at least your money back, which is cool. Because bare root, I don't know if you know how this works, but bare root, they pull it up and they get all, like at least what dirt they can off the roots, and then they package them, and they basically are dormant. And so these plants are dormant then until you buy them, and until you put them in the ground, and until you let them start to grow. So you got to get them out of that dormancy state, which is kind of a tough thing to do. So just something you got to keep in mind. However, bare root is cheaper. They're smaller, they're easier to ship, so it is a way to go if you can do it. These are blueberries down here, and these look fantastic actually. They got plenty of wood chips in there. Wood chips are in there to biodegrade and make more good composty type fertilizer and soil, but they're also there because they will keep the soil underneath moist longer. So yeah, wow, our blueberries are looking pretty good. These are all ones that we got. These are new ones that I planted just yesterday, so they're looking really good. Trying to keep the same varieties, at least every other, not putting too many of the same ones close together. This one was dug out by Creed. Creed actually pulled this whole plant out. And this one was broken by Kona. So I don't think that one's gonna survive. But this one is gooseberry. You can see those thorns on that bad boy. They are not playing. Gooseberries are dangerous. But means you don't really have to worry about pests. When it starts growing and it gets green, I'll show you because as it grows, it gets more thorns. And those thorns are green, so they're like live thorns. It's not messing around. That was one plant that is not messing around. Fig tree. Again, this was a dormant fig tree. And I can show you what it looks like when they are potted. But this was a dormant fig tree. So you got to think of like your deciduous trees in the winter. That's what they looked like. So this would be the same thing. And then we have our raspberries. Very cool, very thorny again. Very good pest deterrent. So very good. Very good, very good. So this was another dormant fig tree. This one's got some new growth on it already. But this is still not very prolific. And we'll go back up. I'll show you what we got in the truck yesterday. And we'll talk about the differences. So you can get bare root big trees. Fig trees don't get very tall. They get about 12 feet tall. But you could get like apple trees that can get up to like 30 feet tall. You can get those bare root and smaller. But again, they come dormant, so they look not as great. But they do, it is a way to do it. It is possible. And it does happen quite frequently. They're just easier to ship that way. So here in the back of the truck, we have quite a few. I'm gonna hop back here and I will show you what we got. So in here we got 4 blackberries from Lowe's. These are specifically from Lowe's. So these 4 here, we got flowers. See the difference between these that are potted and the blackberries that we had that were bare root. This is a fig tree. This is a potted fig tree. Again, very different. Much more growth on this. The two that we have down there are Chicago Hardy. And this one's an Olympian fig. These are Navajo blackberries, which I don't have yet. I have a lot of like baby cakes and stuff down there right now. And then we got 2 Cortland apple trees, 2 Honeycrisp apple trees, and 2 Bartlett pear trees. Now, why did I go with the ones that I went with? Honeycrisp is one of Big K's favorite apples. So we went with Honeycrisp. Now you need a cross pollinator. You need a pollinator for Honeycrisp apple. And one of those was Cortland. Cortland is another good apple that Big K really likes. Big K is not a big fan of the delicious apples, the red delicious, yellow delicious. So I had to stay away from those, but still find a pollinator. And we got 2 Bartlett pears because Big K likes Bartlett pears. I like Bartlett pears too. I like the apples too. I'm not as picky. So Bartlett pears, I got both of them because they were the last 2 that they had. And then on order from Stark Brothers, I have a pollinator for Bartlett pears. So that's what we have going on. I also have a bunch of strawberry plants on order from Stark Brothers, and I also have another apple tree. By doing that, I will fill my apple section. All 5 of my lower apple trees will be in. And if I have an overflow on apple, I'm okay with that. But apples and berries are very good for your health, for all kinds of things. So I wanted to get those done and in. I want to mix in some elderberries. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a mixture on this fence line that runs on the south side. We're gonna have a mixture of raspberries, elderberries, and gooseberries. And then we'll have figs and pears there. No, figs and plums. Pears will be on the north side, and the east side will have apples and blueberries. So there'll be black and green, blue and red, and then purple, red, green, and black on that front side. But the front side is the one that I want to try to keep the bigger bushes in, and I know raspberries will just keep going. So I think raspberries, I'll have to look into blackberries a little bit more. But blackberries are very good for you too. And then on this middle fence line, we're thinking maybe some grapes, or maybe we'll just fill that with elderberries. I don't know. I don't know how convinced I am about the grapes. But we'll have to see. That is what we're doing. That's basically how everything's going. I'm really trying to not plant the stuff that's in those buckets today. Today is kind of my long day, so I try to take it easy, not do too much, and having to dig holes is gonna be a pain. So I dug a bunch yesterday. All that I said was new, I did yesterday after we got home from picking it all up. So there's a lot of holes, and I'm digging them bigger so that they have a better chance. Maybe I'll do a how-to video on these bare roots, and then I'll show you guys how to get them good, get them going. On your way back down the hill, which isn't that far, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that little bell notification button thing down there. And please remember, all of us here at Flannel Hill Farm appreciate y'all.